Stand by A sound.
Nope, we're going into show right now.
Roll A dissolve.
Now on WDRB News.
L2.
It's just unreal. I can't. There's no words to help.
Kentucky is
Can you start wider,
recovering
camera
from the
one?
unimaginable.
Pictures and video do not do it justice. Being on the ground will take the
30.
breath away.
Families mourning those they love.
She said,
We're not doing the soundbite, correct? We're in the mega.
Wait for it.
that is the last thing we got from her.
20.
Communities beginning the process.
Stand by 2 dissolve out.
Believe our physical wounds.
It's not up when we toss to him, no sound.
10.
Rebuilding
roll
the
B, stand by
Commonwealth
2 dissolve.
one person at a time.
If you don't have money, if you don't have material things,
5.
you have yourself. You have your two hands.
Roll B dissolve. Mike and Q. Stand
Our
by
neighbors
X
from Western
VO.
Kentucky are still
Go ahead and
clearing
lose their
through the
names.
rubble after last week's deadly
SOT, we have
tornado.
SOT.
74
We're
Kentuckians
using it.
confirmed
We have
dead,
SOT.
but the number of people missing is
Good.
dropping.
Tomorrow, President
Stand
Joe
by
Biden
XVO.
says
Can you cut that
impacted
intro?
most.
Roll X
SOT on
take.
8, right
Stand
We
by
have a
bring
team
in
of reporters
him.
stationed from
Camera one,
Bowling
start
Green
tighter.
to Mayfield.
4-9,
We'll
4-9.
take you to each
Stand by
community
1.
throughout this news.
Take 1.
We
Pull.
will start out
Stand
in
by live
Mayfield.
view
That's
1.
where we find WDRB's
Stand by the live
He
tween.
shows us how responders from right here in Louisville are providing everyday essentials for those who just lost.
Live
them.
tween.
Scott?
Stand by A. VO.
Google
Under.
images of Mayfield.
I assume we're not gonna
You'll
have
see
6.
a lot of images of
Stand by
this
the number 1 if
historic
you can, so.
courthouse
Gil,
that is
go
now
to the
missing
stack.
its iconic tower and the clock.
Okay.
And everywhere
You
you
said
go
L1,
from
2.
this courthouse
Right.
square, it is devastation. Buildings upon buildings flattened. We saw a lot of people
No.
just standing
It's
over
after weather.
piles of rubble and staring tonight as we pulled into town.
I still need the gray
that used
LEDs.
to be their dwelling place. And so Mayfield
editing your time.
firefighters can
Effects,
help
roll
them
X.
get through this. Firefighters from PRP
Hey,
and also
thank you.
St. Matthews
Stand
are
by
here.
B,
They are
sound.
responding to the regular calls that might come in from around the
Right,
county.
corner.
And Water Step of Louisville responds to disasters all over the world, but this
E3L1.
time it's close to home. They are here with a crew of 5 providing clean
Tell Fallon
bleach
during that
and
VO, she
water,
needs to step over. I don't
55
need her
gallons a
coming up
minute they
working.
can
I'm gonna
turn
leave
out with their
5
system.
if I have to.
A 6,500 gallon tank of water now being
Have Fallon
purified
step
into a
over.
1,500
I'm
gallon
just gonna move it
bladder,
down.
and that's used for 6 heated showers in this
by
Graves
B
County
sound.
Health
Have Fallon
Department
take a step
mobile
over,
unit
please.
that now has the clean water it needs.
Roll B dissolve.
These warm showers are
Stand by
awesome. I
live
appreciate
view
everybody
1.
bringing them in. It means a lot when you work hard all day and be able to come
Blue
take a
super.
nice
I don't know
hot
how long
shower.
this
The people are
is.
trying to
Super
feed the
and super.
disaster folks, feed the folks that are in the disaster. There's so many
Blue
people
super.
homeless, and there's this energy of
It may
companionship
not be sound,
and
it
family
might
and
be,
partnership around here. It's a wonderful
Stand by the
thing
live tween if
amidst
there's
the
no trailing.
tragedy that so many thousands of people are living around here.
It's been hard to wrap your brain around how are we
There may
going
not
to,
be trailing
you know,
videos to be prepared.
to
No,
rebuild
there's
from
2
this. And
minutes
now
or
we will.
something,
We're
right?
Mayfield strong. We'll get through it, but it won't be the same.
What's the dirt? Yeah, we have trailing. Mike Q.
And you do wonder
Hey.
when a community can start to
Got it.
turn the corner from losing lives,
Killing 6.
buildings,
No,
homes, and
Page
also
6 is dead?
so much
Yep.
of their history. But we
Page
found a
6 is
glimmer
dead.
of that hope and a glimmer of that turn tonight at a church
Have
right
Fallon
across from the Emergency Relief Center that had no
Have stay at the
idea
desk.
it would
L1
become a
Have
hub of
Fallon sit
activity,
down.
almost
Fallon
a
needs to sit down.
Walmart
Page
of
6 is
sorts,
dead.
in a matter of days to serve this community hope
Dissolve.
and the items
We're
they
live,
need. We're
stand
going to
by
have
3,
that
stand by
story here
relax.
live
Reset
coming up
L1 and
tonight
2.
at 11 in Mayfield.
Stand by
Scott
3.
Reynolds, WDRB News.
Roll X 10.
Very good, Scott.
Stand
Thank
by
you. And a
XVO,
dramatic
banner.
moment captured on
Thanks so much,
video.
sir.
This is an American flag recovered
Stand by
from
2
what's
dissolve.
left from outside
2
the
give me
Mayfield
lines.
courthouse.
Dissolve.
Check this out full screen here.
Stand
3
by
men,
2.
including 1 man in an army uniform, pulled the flag out of the debris, and Old Glory was dusty
Stand by 2.
and
Stand by
muddy,
2. Push
but
in.
mostly intact.
Take.
Well, the
Stand by
death toll
A.
in
VO.
Dawson
Banner.
Springs, Kentucky is now 14
Roll A,
people. The
take.
county coroner says a 2-month-old
E,
girl injured
E4,
during the tornado died at Norton Children's Hospital.
L2,
Emergency
E2, and the
management officials say the
L1.
number of people missing in Dawson Springs is down to 54. FEMA teams have been searching through the rubble, giving county officials confidence that most of the missing are still alive. They believe many left town or they're staying in shelters.
Route
Cleanup
E2
efforts
and the
will
L2.
continue
Stand by 2.
tomorrow.
Take.
We are getting a number of
Stand by
calls into the
DRB
newsroom from
animation
people with one big
to generic
question.
weather
How
animation
can I help?
to
And leaders say,
NBQA.
what is needed most right now? financial donations.
That's because the need for
Stand by
supplies
DRB
changes
animation.
every
Oh, it's in
day,
that
and that
beautiful
money helps
tirade.
purchase
Tirade's
what's
in
needed
there.
most.
DRB.
The best way to
animation.
donate is through the United Way,
Generic
American
weather
Red
to
Cross, or the
ME2A,
state's Western
E2
Kentucky
full
Relief
L2.
Fund. You can find those donation
Stand by
websites on
generic weather.
WDRB.com.
Generic weather. Stand by 3 box. Stand by 3 box. Stand by to roll X. Roll X.
Mark, we
Micah.
keep seeing these
Stand by to
drone
fly X
images
full.
from these tornadoes, and I have been there in person, and
When we
like
go to
we've heard
X
from so
full,
many
I
other
want
people,
sport
it
news
is
LEDs.
10
When we go
times
to
worse
X
when
full,
you
sport
see it
news
in
LEDs.
person, even though these images are just so terrible themselves.
You know, if you've ever walked through a violent
Do you wanna
tornado
fly it
path,
full?
it's something you don't forget. I remember the first time
Fly
I
it
did it in
full.
college as a
Camera one,
researcher,
go to corner
and
3D.
these are
Sport
images
news
that
LEDs.
scar you. I mean, they just are. And what has to happen now is the National Weather Service now has to determine
News
the
at
strength
10,
of this. And a lot of
stack.
people are wondering, why is this taking so
Sport
long?
news LEDs.
So what I wanted
Stand
to
by
do
one,
is discuss
one till down,
what
one
goes
till down,
on in a
one till down.
situation like this. So
Camera
this
one
is a
till down.
situation where we don't
Dissolve.
have your normal tornado.
Come on, guys.
This is a situation where we have
Stand
a far
by
stronger.
A.
When we have a
Sound.
weaker tornado, normally the National Weather Service individually will go out. So for the EF0 and
I need
EF1s, we get some
A
trees that are
in the
toppled,
side monitor.
some roofs that are stripped.
I don't
When
think
we
there's
get
any
into the
trailing
2s and
VO
3s,
on the
we get
sound
large
bite.
trees that
Alright,
are
look at your
uprooted.
graphic.
The outside of the buildings start to get destroyed. And
Hurry.
here's where things really go to the
On
next
it.
level.
Side monitor.
These EF4 to EF5s are so rare that the National
put
Weather Service
E4
brings
in
in
the side monitor.
experts.
Side monitor
I believe
only.
Tim Marshall is here, who is one of the people that developed the EF scale. They're going to be looking for, how are these homes secured to foundations? Are they bolted? Are the roofs strapped? And over the next couple of days, we will find out. My belief is this is EF4
Are we getting a
or
graphic?
stronger.
3, 2, 1.
And this is a significant
There should be a
tornado.
graphic now for the side monitor. Roll A flash.
It was like dog years being in this role the last 4
E4
years.
in the side monitor. Stand by
I worked a
camera
lot of
3.
hours, a lot of weekends, a lot of nights, a lot of initiatives, a lot of fundraisers, a lot of all that if I listed out accomplishments to bore you guys on behalf of the staff, it was exhausting. And that's where you
5.
just kind of say, like, what do you want to do next? And next was to plan a family vacation for me.
Take. Stand by
Former
B.
U of L Athletics
Sound.
Director Vince Tyree
Clean.
gave an exit interview today after resigning as part of a convoluted series of events at the school last week. And at times, Tyree did not sound like a man who just quit his job.
Roll B sound take.
Vince Tyree stood on the football field all
Does he
smiles.
still have a
with
tag?
then U of
2
L
minutes
President
out.
Neil
Is he still writing the
Goody,
tag?
both celebrating
Yes.
the retirement of
There's a
football
tag in
great
there.
Lamar
Stand by
Jackson's
super.
jersey number. That's for just 1 month.
Update
Hard to
green
imagine.
form, Brendan, when you get a
Both leaders
chance.
gone from the school on the same
Stand by
day.
super.
Neely's
Add
He's
super.
finishing it now.
I was unaware of that.
Returns.
Didn't learn of that until I was going to bed Wednesday night.
All right.
Why does it
Camera
matter?
1 tag.
Certainly we didn't
Two
agree on
B,
everything.
two, You'll be in a
He
bow box.
wouldn't have left
Stand by give me 2B.
if he knew she was
Camera 2,
headed to
tighten
Penn
up,
State.
please.
Florida State was very aggressive. They have a great product to sell.
Tyree tells us the
Page
Seminoles
10
approached
is
him
next.
with the AD job on Sunday, December 5th. He asked to open his
Two tight
contract to
nut.
talk to the school. U of L's Board of Trustees did in a meeting December
just a
8th.
little
He
bit.
overnighted his resignation that night. Then news broke of Ben DePuti's departure.
It's difficult when you love this place like I do and think about what your exit
Stand
plan is
by
going to be.
camera 1.
You know, there's no
Brendan, when we
easy
go to this box-
exit.
Tyree says it wasn't solely
Brendan, when
friction
we go
from
to
the
the free
president
box
that led to
after
his
the
departure.
tag, there's
The
a
notion of going to
live
Florida
logo.
State, the
Yep.
notion of staying in athletics versus business. I had 2 standing offers to
minute
leave
left,
and
1
go to the
minute.
business world. They're pretty enticing. They're still out there. And I was just trying to rethink, like, where am I, write down the pros and cons, and told Florida State it wasn't for me.
As far as his interim successor, Josh Hurd, he supports the appointment, says they talk often to aid in transition. And on his high-profile coaching hires, Chris Mack,
On basketball, Chris is having a heck of a time right now. Again, sometimes all that occurred in the past moves
30
forward with
seconds,
those
30.
who come next.
Scott Satterfield,
Satterfield is the football coach. We're going to support him in what he's getting done.
in his post-mortem, Tyree didn't always come
20.
across like a guy who just quit his job, speaking in we's and r's, perhaps because, AD or not,
Just like
he
Oklahoma,
says
your
he's
time
still a
is coming
call.
sooner. Stand by.
Maybe in my
10.
role as a fan and a
Stand by
donor, I
camera
could
1.
have some positive impact on this
5.
university without
Stand by
receiving a
Gil.
salary. And I'll do that from the stands.
Take 1.
Tyree spoke
Stand
with
by
reporters for
B.
nearly an hour today. Later
With
in
E1.
our sports page,
Andy?
Eric Crawford and Rick Bozich go in depth on several
Yes.
other topics that he covered, including what's next for the now former
On
U of
take.
L Athletics Director.
Take.
Grammy-nominated rapper Jack
Stand by,
Harlow kicked
live
off
view
his
3,
5-day
4.
hometown tour tonight.
Stand by.
As WDRB's Monica
With-
Harkins shows us, fans flocked to the
Under.
Palace Theater for night one. And Monica, I guess this is where I ask you, what's poppin'?
And take.
Brand new whip just hopped in. Those are the famous
Stand by,
lyrics
XVO,
Jack Harlow's
under.
fans, hundreds of them, are singing
fun,
tonight in the
guys. Having
Palace
some fun.
Theater. Just a few hours ago, fans wrapped around both sides of this building, eager to get inside. You got to see this video. Take a look at these
Rolex
long
tape.
lines as fans waited to
Stand by
get in.
A,
The
number
Palace
10 to
Theater
A,
diligently
sound.
checking vaccination cards or checking for negative test results before they could get in. But what fans might not have been expecting, free KFC chicken sandwiches. This a day after KFC and Jack Harlow announced their collaboration. The two even donating $250,000 to the Red Cross to help tornado recovery efforts. And fans were aware of Harlow's commitment to his hometown well before tonight, releasing his tickets first to those who live here in Louisville and performing in
Stand by,
historic
A
sites
sound.
instead of big venues.
Roll sound effects.
He'll talk about all these different
Stand by to
places and
update,
songs,
stand by
and it's like,
update,
oh, I've
stand
been
by
there, I
B.
know that. It's so
Update.
cool.
I feel like it's gonna be more interactive.
Stand by to lose.
Everybody around will be like inside the concert.
Oh my God.
Blue Super. Mike Q. Stand by B.
Harlow
Number
isn't
11
taking
to
the
B.
stage alone. Some
Sound.
other acts
With-
include The Homies, featuring another Louisville rapper, Ace Pro. Ace Pro's mom says she's proud of the progress her son and Jack Harlow are making.
Roll B sound effect.
You gotta take your hat out to
Stand
them.
by to
I
lose
think you
super.
gotta
Stand
give
by
them all the
live
props,
view 3.
you know. They're doing the things in a manner in which things should be done.
Lose
I always
super.
bring it back home. I always come back home. Don't ever forget where you come from.
Mike Q.
The No Place Like Home tour continues tomorrow night at Headliners, Thursday is at Zanzibar, Friday at Mercury Ballroom, and then finishes at Old Forester's Paris Town
Stand by
Hall
2 on a
on
two-shot
Saturday night.
tease is next.
As for tonight's
Stand by
show, we're
2.
told
Here comes
this
the
concert
tease.
this evening is expected to wrap up here in just about an hour. Live in downtown Louisville, I'm Monica Harkins, WDRB News.
Take.
Monica,
Stand by
thank
X.
you.
Sound.
Kentucky
Stand by
got the
flash.
worst of last week's
Clear. Thanks
storms,
so
but
much.
it's not the only state impacted by them.
Roll sound flash.
This is one of our
Stand by
training
number 1
officers
to
and
A
his
sound.
trainee, a young man that just started with us about a month and a half
Stand
ago.
by Gills, Mike.
The moment two deputies found
sound.
themselves
Stand
at
by
the
A
mercy
sound.
of the weather.
Effect.
Bus.
Roll A.
I got the same text.
Stand by
message
Fallon's
she
Mike.
did.
Mike Fallon.
Several families
Stand by
still
B,
searching for
sound.
answers in the
Point your
Mayfield
teasers next.
Candle
Stay with us,
factory
master.
collapse. The last conversation two siblings had with their mother, they lost inside it.
And dissolve. Roll B.
When disaster strikes, the
Stand by
people
Fade
of
to Black.
Kentucky
Stand by
come
Breakmaster.
together. How you can help those suffering from the devastating tornadoes coming up in Point of View.
Fade to black for your break.
So I have no
Dave.
idea if